Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. This is a shot of whiskey, and this video is just something for me to do to help kill time. I've got 3 video projects that I really want to work on, um, but I'm actually going to be spending a good chunk of the month getting ready to move. I'm still going to be within the same city, but I, I'm I'm moving. I'm in a situation now to where I unfortunately have to move back in with my mother, but you know what? I'm a single parent now, so I kind of have to do what I have to do to take care of my kid. So it's one of those kind of things. Anyways, so just so that way I can still be producing some sort of content for you guys, I'm going to be doing yet another sports themed video. This one is another NFL prediction thing, and I figured since there's only 1 week of the regular season, this should be somewhat accurate. So let's take a look at the standings as of now. So looking at the AFC first, we can see that New England and Pittsburgh are tied for first, with New England having the slight edge. They are guaranteed to have first round byes. So it's literally a case of unless Pittsburgh wins and New England loses, New England's going to get the number 1 seed. We know for certain that Jacksonville is going to be third and Kansas City is going to be fourth. The 2 wild card slots both have yet to be determined. It looks like odds are Baltimore is going to get at least one of them, possibly the number 5 seed. But then again, depending on how numbers work out, it could be possible they'll miss the playoffs altogether. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. As for the NFC, we know that the Eagles are getting a first round bye. The Minnesota Vikings have won their division, and really the only way that they're not going to get a bye is if they lose this week, the Saints lose, and the Panthers win. So we're going to need to see all 3 of those situations pan out in order to prevent Minnesota from getting a first round bye. But to be entirely honest, I don't see that happening, which I'll get into more detail on that later. The Rams and the Saints, right now they're third and fourth. We know that Los Angeles is going to be in the playoffs. And from what I can tell, no matter what happens, they're not going to get a first round bye. They're not in the picture for that. As for the Saints, yeah, they're currently in the fourth place seed, but if they lose and Carolina wins the division. Carolina, at worst, is going to get fifth. We know that much. The other wild card spot, right now it's seated at the Falcons, but the Seahawks are still in the hunt. Literally, it just needs to be a case of Seattle wins, Atlanta loses, and Seattle will be in the playoffs instead. So let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule for this upcoming week. So here's the schedule of all of the games this weekend, with the exception of 3, and that's because those 3 games involve teams that are not in the playoff hunt. So 13 out of 16, not bad, but at the same time, things could have been a little bit better. Like, perfect example, the third game from the top is the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who the fuck seems to think that that's a good season finale? That's fucking bullshit. Baltimore and Pittsburgh, that makes sense. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, that makes sense. Cleveland and Pittsburgh, seriously, that's fucking bullshit. But anyways, let's go ahead and analyze who I think is going to win this week. There you go. Anything that is boxed red, that's who I think is win. It's going to win. Now, you'll notice that some of them I've included the word at. Now, the reason why some of them do and some of them don't is the ones that do include the word at, those are ones where I could see me being wrong. If I don't have the at, I'm like willing to bet organs that I'm right. Well, like in the case of the Steelers against the Browns, I could see them like benching almost all their starters. But considering that they do still have a chance at getting the first round bye, they might actually make an effort. So I guess maybe that one should have included the word at. But in any case, teams that I think are guaranteed to win: Patriots, Vikings, Steelers, Eagles, Saints, and Seahawks. All the others, the Rams, Raiders, Broncos, Titans, Bills, Panthers, and Ravens, those ones I could see me being wrong on. So,
And, actually, how about if I go ahead and talk about them? In the case of the Rams, the only reason why I think I could see San Francisco pulling off the win is, well, one, it's a division rivalry game. And two, the 49ers have actually been playing pretty damn well since they've gotten Garoppolo as their starting quarterback. I had a feeling that was going to be the case. I didn't think they were going to be going to this game with 5 wins. I mean, 4 at most. But I'm a little surprised that they've been as good as they have been. Um, they might even surprise some people next year, depending on who they pick up next year. During free agency and the draft. As for the case of the Raiders, that's mostly a case of, again, division rivalry. And in all honesty, I think the Chargers won games they should not have won. That's just my opinion. But as for the Broncos, I'm honestly only giving them the credit because they're at home, and I think Kansas City realizes no matter what, they're getting the 4th seed, so they're probably going to be benching a lot of their starters. But then again, Denver kind of sucks this year, so even with their second stringers and even third stringers, it's possible Kansas City's going to win this. Who knows? Um, Tennessee, I'm only giving them the advantage because I think Jacksonville's probably going to be benching a lot of their people. Um, yeah. Well, okay. I should probably clarify the Panthers Falcons game. The only real reason why I'm seeing the Panthers winning it is because they still have something to fight for. They could possibly win the division. If the Buccaneers surprise people and beat the Saints, that gives Carolina something to really, really fight for. So I think that's going to inspire them to try their damnedest to beat Atlanta. So also, Atlanta is the defending NFC champions. So if they beat Atlanta, that means, hey, they're not going to repeat. Woohoo! And speaking from experience as a former athlete, that kind of does mean something. Hurting your division rival as much as you can. So, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the scores. Wait, did I say scores? Sorry, I meant final records. So Patriots with 13, Vikings 13, Steelers 13, Eagles 14, Rams 12, Chargers 8, Chiefs 9, Jaguars 10, Titans 9, Saints 12, Bills 9, Seahawks 10, Panthers 12, Falcons 9, and Ravens 10. So how does this pan out for the actual playoff standings? Well, assuming that I'm right, here's what we're going to see with the AFC. So New England and Pittsburgh will have a tied record, which means that thanks to the Week 15 victory, New England will get the top seed. Now, as for that game, I heard that there was controversy involved. I don't know. I didn't actually watch it. So if there is, hey, maybe that's a benefit to Pittsburgh. I don't know. But third spot will go to Jacksonville. Fourth will go to Kansas City. Fifth will go to Baltimore. And sixth, if my predictions are correct, will go to Tennessee because Tennessee will have a better conference record than Buffalo. That's going to be the tiebreaker between those two. Now, taking a look over at the NFC, Philadelphia will get the top seed in the conference thanks to having the best record in all of football. Minnesota will be close behind, and the Rams will get the third spot over New Orleans because they beat them in Week 12. And yes, that does mean that New Orleans will get the division since they beat Carolina in both matchups. So the head-to-head rule applies here. That means that Carolina is going to get the 5th seed and Seattle will get the 6th, which this unfortunately means that during the wild card matchups, 3 of the 4 games are going to be division rivalry rematches. Carolina at New Orleans, Seattle at Los Angeles, and Tennessee at Jacksonville. So the first round will either be really, really boring or really, really awesome. It could be a middle ground, but I'm really expecting to be one of the two. So anyways, that's it. I'm going to try to work on one of my 3 videos as much as I can, but that might not be for like about another couple of weeks, to be entirely honest with how much preparation I have to do for the move. So in the meantime, peace out, and thank you for supporting my small, pathetic little channel. I appreciate it.